everybody, I'm Quinn.
And I'm Scott, and it's time for the Almost Friday show for September 23rd, 2010.
This week on Off the Press, we're talking about a sweet Stargate auction where you can buy some of the props from the show.
Pretty exciting. I went through the entire catalog and geeked out a little bit.
He did.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we're going to the gutters, and Dave's telling us about the world's greatest superheroes.
Which is actually a comic and not just actually talking about the world's greatest superheroes.
But it is topical.
It is. In Tech Insight this week, we're talking about Netflix coming to Canada and how it's mostly a letdown.
Then we're going behind the lens, and we're going to talk about the Panasonic GH2.
And then in Science, we're talking about fiber optic nerves, because that's just crazy.
And the law of the week this week is Zelda-themed.
We'll just leave it at that. Without further ado, it's time for Off the Press.
Welcome to Off the Press, everybody. Top story this week, the Scott Pilgrim DVD/Blu-ray is coming out.
On November 9th, 2010. So this is kind of really exciting for me as a behind-the-scenes DVD crap.
Jam-packed?
It's the Blu-ray is jam-packed with like behind-the-scenes stuff. There's music videos, the cartoon shorts that aired on Cartoon Network.
Sweet.
It's really short. It's like 15 minutes of total content, but it's still on the DVD, which is cool.
The music videos sound really exciting because they had a lot of original music and that stuff in there. So
I'm not sure if it's gonna be like music videos from the movie or.
But it will be the songs from the movie, right?
Songs from the movie, but music videos kind of vague about if they're taking the scenes from the movie or separate videos for.
Either way, it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the usual behind-the-scenes stuff, the making of
commentaries.
There's lots of commentary. And deleted scenes and extra edits and all that fun stuff. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'll probably buy it.
Coming your way November 9th.
Pretty soon. And something that's coming up a little bit further and slightly...
Not as awesome.
Oh, it could be awesome. We don't know.
Yeah, you say that now.
Yeah. Is the new Ghost Rider movie. Still starring Nick Cage. It could be good.
He likes Ghost Rider.
He really does. He's really enthusiastic about comic books. So it's going to be called The Spirit of Vengeance.
Now, is this building off the previous movie, plot-wise, or is it kind of like a reboot?
It's kind of a mystery right now.
No real details.
No. The only details is it's 2012, starring Nick Cage, Spirit of Vengeance. Could be good. Could not be. I think Quinn liked the first one.
No!
Okay, Quinn didn't like the first one.
Nobody liked the first one.
Bring back the new bike.
Moving on.
We're pretty big Doctor Who fans.
If you haven't noticed.
Yeah, and on top of that, Daleks are cool to have around.
Mm-hmm.
So what if I wanted to, per se, build my own?
Well, something has surfaced recently from the 1980s. So in the 80s, a fan wrote to the BBC asking, hey, I want to build a Dalek. Do you think you can, hook me up some plans? And then someone at the BBC, is not sure if it's official or if it's just some guy, was like, okay, here's the plans for personal use only.
Don't sell Daleks.
Yeah. So now they're online and you can build your own Dalek.
That's pretty freaking... I want to...
It's
full-sized?
Yeah. Like, yay big-ish.
I want 3.
That could get pricey.
Oh. What kind of materials are they looking at?
Mostly just like wood and stuff. Yeah.
So not too bad if you really kind of are a big Doctor Who fan and want a ridiculously complicated project.
Yeah. It'll probably make a good winter project.
But if you don't want to build your own props, you just kind of want to buy some, and you're a giant Stargate fan like somebody we know, they're auctioning off all of the Stargate props, more or less.
Most of them.
Looking through the catalog, there was a few things missing, but like a ton of stuff is there. From Atlantis and Stargate issue 1.
Yeah.
So, biggest thing, the Stargate. From Atlantis and from...
Is it just bits of the Stargate or the entire...
So from what I understood is they're selling bits of the Atlantis Stargate.
Okay.
And the actually entire Stargate has already been sold for like $100,000+.
I'm not surprised. It was probably sold at like some theme park or something.
Pricey, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. They also have like every costumes, all the costumes from the actual characters.
A lot of the weapons props.
Which look,
I want them all.
And they have multiple like even if there's like Ronan's gun from Stargate Atlantis, they have like 6 of them.
Well, of course.
Because they don't just have one, right? The different
Yeah.
shots, and some light up and some don't, and things like that.
Of course.
All the control crystals you've seen, all the gun. I didn't see any U.S. Army like guns. Like
No,
there was no
but-
P90s, no pistols, but they had Zats. They had staff weapons.
Yeah. Well, that's probably the stuff that can be reused in the studio.
Yeah.
So
They had the Asgard. You could buy an Asgard.
I want to buy one and just put hilarious boxers on him.
Yeah,
Because
and if
that'd be
you're
funny.
a big person of a specific actor, like Richard Dean Anderson or Amanda Tapping, you can actually buy their clothes,
They wore it.
branded by, like, Carter's uniform of such and such.
That holster has been on Carter's leg.
They're selling the vests. They're selling everything is going. A little sad because I was looking forward to some Stargate movies.
Yeah.
This doesn't necessarily mean they won't come because I don't think they're selling everything, but kind of sad, but really cool. So they're being auctioned off September 25th to the 26th. I don't know if it's. I think it's an electronic auction.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure. But you can check it out. There's a link in the show notes if you want to check out the entire catalog. It's gorgeous. Just works
It's like
flipping
400
through.
pages or something, right?
And it's crazy. They have things as big as the Stargate and as small as, like, General Hammond's wedding ring, which was going for $400 starting bid, which is ridiculous. But Donis Davis passed away, so if you're a big
Yeah.
Donis Davis fan, you never know.
And that's it for Off the Press this week. And now over to Dave for a comic review and some news.
Hey everyone, welcome to another session of From the Gutters. This week we're going to be talking about the world's greatest superheroes. This is written by Paul Dini and not so much illustrated as painted by Alex Ross. Alex Ross is, certainly it is not the first time that comic books have been painted, but his project Marvels and then the subsequent project that he worked on called Kingdom Come pretty much showed that really nice artwork can be used in comic books.
So, quick question.
Yes, shoot.
This is DC only, or is this also a mix of
This
Marvel?
is DC.
Okay.
Yeah. There have been a couple projects that involve both Marvel and DC.
Okay.
Only one of them really was really cool. That would be the Avengers JLA crossover. Pretty nifty. JLA Avengers, sorry. I keep making that mistake. Anyway, this one, World's Greatest Superheroes. This is about the 5th format that we have seen this book published in. Originally, they came in books, prestige format books, which are yay big.
Oh my god.
Prestige format really just means small, thin, but a square spine. So originally they showed up in 5 different books, I believe. There was Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Shazam, and the Justice League of America. And they all had different themes. The Power of Hope, etc., etc. They were subsequently collected in an Absolute edition, which was really sexy. It's hardcover, the slipcase. Oh, it was so pretty. They also showed up, but again, it was smaller than the original. The Absolute was only about this big. Then they came with a hardcover. Now they've got this edition, which has all of them. And the thing is, every time, there's a different title. So, I don't even...
So, does this, is this basically a gigantic compendium of comics based on each one of the heroes? Or is this more of a...
It covers a lot of the heroes.
Okay.
But the Justice League of America has had so many people in its ranks.
Okay.
So many. There are slots that typically have to be filled. Strong guy, strong woman, Green Lantern. There's always a different Green Lantern.
Yeah, well...
Now, the thing is, there are, like I said, different stories in here. I'm not going to go through a rundown of each story. What I found this book to be the kind of market that it would appeal to would be someone who wants to introduce their children to superheroes in sort of a storybook format.
Wow, the art is amazing.
It's Alex Ross. He's sort of, I wouldn't say he revolutionized comics, but he certainly encouraged people to take comic books more seriously in terms of its artwork.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah. I want to get a nice shot of Shazam. There's a beautiful one here. At any rate, we've got Shazam here.
Wow.
It's really nice artwork, but the thing is, it's laid out such that almost every page is split roughly in two, and there isn't a lot of writing to it. Paul Dini kept his words sparse, and I'm not saying children are idiots. Okay, yeah, but you know, it doesn't get terribly complicated. $29.99 is the price on this book. For what you're getting, $30 US, great deal. A marvelous deal, I would say. Really great book. And it is kind of an epic presentation in terms of the artwork, right? I mean, Superman. Ba, 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 ba. It's, you know, I grew up with Christopher Reeve Superman. And I think so did Alex Ross. So, this book, ultimately, I'm going to say anyone could read it. It is great if you are a geek and you are looking for something to introduce your children to comic book characters, sort of the main guys. This is a really good book for that. And not only that, but you're getting a lot of substance for the price you're paying. Ultimately, I give this book, what could make this book better? For the subject matter, for the artists, for the creators, and the subject matter, the only thing that could make it better would be if it was a single adventure throughout the whole book, because then that would be just like a, whoa.
So they're not all
amazing.
tied together then, or are some of them?
No.
No?
They were released actually about a year apart. The books that have been collected in here, but you know, that's a project that I just won't ever be seeing again, probably with Alex Ross. So I give this book, I give it an A. It's good, it's great. It's not super awesome, crazy great, couldn't be better though. So,
Get it for the art, really.
World's Greatest Superheroes? Yeah, it's a reduced size, so you do tend to get a little more out of the artwork. It looks a little sharper. If you want to learn how to do the stuff, get the bigger editions. Anyway, so $30 gets an A. And speaking of DC, there's some kind of big news. This past Tuesday, DC made a press release. Dan Didio and Jim Lee talked about Wildstorm and Zuda Comics. Zuda was kind of a dead digital format anyway. A dead digital pursuit by DC at any rate. Wildstorm is getting cut. It is being closed. Now the thing is, the two big ongoing projects for Wildstorm are probably Wildcats and Authority. They are going to be folded into the regular DC universe. But Wildstorm has been closed.
So,
As of December, they will be doors closed.
for one who is quite ignorant, what is Wildstorm?
Wildstorm, okay. A while ago, there was this company called Image.
Okay, Image Comics.
Image spawned. I just got that. They generated spin-off companies.
Okay.
Top Cow, Awesome, Wildstorm,
Okay.
Joe's Diner, stuff like that. But the thing is, Wildstorm was owned by Jim Lee. Jim Lee is famous, probably most famous, for his work prior to Image.
Okay.
For his work on X-Men. He did some work on Alpha Flight, which not many people noticed. So there are a few things that he's got his name to. But then he started running Wildstorm, and the problem with Image is that it was a very well-named company. It was an Image-based series of comics. And DC was like, okay, we're going to buy Wildstorm.
Okay.
And we're going to put Jim Lee in charge. And 20 years after, roughly 20 years after Wildstorm happened, was born, they're now closing it.
Okay.
So, what does this mean for comics? It means, hopefully, that DC is going to get their act together. That they're, streamlining, I hate the word streamlining because it usually means people are losing their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But they are doing fewer, they're going to be doing fewer creator-owned comic books, and they're going to be focusing, it seems, more on getting the long-term stuff, established comics, done. And hopefully, because they're owned by Warner, they're going to get more in line with Warner, and Warner's going to be able to produce some movies.
Okay.
They've been bad-mouthed recently. A lot of people are talking about how Warner cannot produce an effing movie that isn't Batman.
Well, that is entirely true. I'm afraid.
They've had a lot of false starts with movies, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Was it going to mean long-term, though? Some people are going to be losing their jobs.
That sucks.
It means there's going to be fewer people who will be able to introduce their original material into the marketplace.
Oh.
That's about it, though. If you've got any comments about the Wildstorm closure, please send me an email at contact@almostfridayshow.com. And that will be it this week for In the Gutters.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tech Insight. Kicking it off this week, we're talking about Netflix coming to Canada.
Officially launched yesterday, which would be Wednesday the 22nd.
Yes.
Kicked it off. Everyone's on the free month trial. No one's paying them yet. Good price point, though.
Yep.
It is streaming only in Canada, so you're not like in the States where you can do the DVD rentals. $7.99 a month for unlimited streaming, which I thought was a good price point, fairly reasonable.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, if you find content that you like on the site, I think $7.99 is a good price
Yep.
point. However, that implies you find content you like on
Could
the
be
site.
tough. Could be
Yeah.
tough. They launched with a very limited library. If you like new shows like How I Met Your Mother, Fringe, CSI,
Pretty much anything that isn't
and
Mad
if
Men.
you just pretty much Trailer Park Boys is on there.
Yeah.
They have some Canadian content, but only the first couple seasons, not the last couple.
It's essentially what has happened is the Netflix people in the States have been like, hey, if we give them movies that are 20 years old, they won't notice because they're Canadians.
So basically, what I did to test it was picked a movie out of my brain that I know I've seen that I know I like, and see if none of them were on there.
No.
None. I was like, Twister, that's old.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Independence Day.
Nope.
No. Comedies like Airplane. No. Any of the Naked Guns. No.
There is, some Jackie Chan fight movies and some kids stuff.
Yeah.
If you like documentaries, you will like Netflix because there's a ton of those.
And a decent amount of them are in HD, which is nice.
Yes.
To speak to the actual service, so far I love it.
Yeah.
Outside the selection, that aside, the loading time's decent. It starts playing in SD and then kind of loads the HD in the background, and I've been fairly impressed so
I
far.
watched an episode of Mad Men on my iPhone. It looked fantastic. I don't normally like watching things on my iPhone because it's small,
Yeah.
and most of the time I'm watching web stuff and it doesn't look great. But I was very happy to watch Mad Men on my iPhone, and it looked fantastic.
I've watched it on the PC. It looks great.
I fired it up on the PS3 and watched HD, and I honestly, it's not Blu-ray, but it's better than DVD, and so I watched the Mad Men to do a direct comparison. It looked just as good on my 58-inch television. So
Yeah, the only thing that struck me as a little weird was no Xbox 360 support.
no, which is supposedly coming in the fall. I just don't get why it doesn't have it out of the gate.
Well, because Xbox 360 was the first console to support Netflix.
Yeah.
Then PS3 and Wii followed much later.
And,
And now Xbox doesn't have it for Canada. I don't know what that's about.
And if you do sign up for that free trial and don't want to give Netflix money but want to take as much as you can from them, you can also get their free Wii starter disc.
Yeah,
they'll,
so
they'll send that to you.
To watch it on your Wii, you do need the disc,
Which it takes about 2 days apparently by mail.
which isn't too bad.
Yeah.
So they've got some good options out. I'm definitely looking forward to Xbox streaming because I don't have a PS3.
Yeah.
But
I think my opinion at this point is I like that they're giving this free trial because I'm going to use it this month. I'm going to watch the stuff I'm interested in right
Yeah.
now while I can. And if by the end of the month I'm not happy with what they've added over the last 30 days,
I'm out too.
I'm going to wait it out and see
Yeah,
what
me
happens,
too.
come the new year or something like that.
I think if they put a bunch, even if it's older content, like if
But
I could,
good content.
Yeah, like if I could access the shows I want to watch, like even if it was like the first couple seasons of like CSI or something,
Yeah.
I would go back and watch those occasionally. Or like, I don't have any Stargate. I'm a huge Stargate. None. They have like,
There's pretty much no sci-fi with the
the
exception
sci-fi
of
is
some
very
Doctor
limited.
Who, but
even
it's all
the
Doctor Who.
movies are very limited in
Yes.
sci-fi. They have like Pitch Black. It's a terrible sci-fi.
I didn't even see Pitch Black.
Yeah, it's on there.
Oh, okay.
Not a good movie. Don't want to watch it, but it's on there. So, and even their action movies, that it's not where it should be. So, if the TV section gets better, and the movies gets a little better, I'm probably. But if not, I'm gonna wait.
Yep.
So that's Netflix. Check it out. You should try the
Try the free trial.
yeah.
It's free, and if you like it, keep it. If you don't, wait it out, because that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Next up, we're talking about Intel. They've gone ahead and announced something very bizarre that a lot of people won't understand. So I'm going to try and explain it to you. On lower end PCs that they sell at like Best Buy or whatever, they'll say this is a 2.3 gig processor with a 1 meg cache or whatever like that. If you want to make it a little better, you can buy this $50 gift card, type this code into your computer, and then your processor will gain features that it already has.
It's literally a gift card.
It's literally a card from Intel that says, it's $50 American, and basically it unlocks features that are already on your die.
I'm just wondering how long it's going to take before someone's got a keygen running to be like, boop, 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 and just,
I'm wondering who the hell is this marketing to?
I don't know.
Because if you're the low-end consumer, you don't care.
Well, I had heard some comments that it was people that maybe want to spend a little, want to buy a laptop now, but can't necessarily afford, I guess, the extra $50 at the time to get something a bit better, and so maybe in a couple months when they've got some extra money, they can upgrade.
I guess.
But I mean, it seems like $50 is
Now, is it going to drop the price of all the Intel laptops?
no.
Because then I could maybe see where this is going, but it won't.
No.
They'll be the same. You'll just be able to make you can get 3 megs of L2 cache now. Well, that doesn't matter to most. It's going to matter to people like me, and I wouldn't buy a chip with this on it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, Intel. This is week 2 for you on this show. That you've just
What are you thinking?
gone off I'm a big fan. Please, just next week be like new i7s or something.
i11s.
9s first.
Yeah, but they're just going to skip 9 because they're that awesome. They're going to go straight to 1155.
6 scores.
6 scores.
8.5.
9 and 3/4.
And then for a little more bonker news this week, HP's announced another printer. Big news. They make lots of printers. They're a printer company. But maybe it's a tablet too.
It's very hard to say. We'll show you a picture of it here.
So,
And you'll be the judge. Is that a tablet or is
You
that a
notice
printer?
there's a printer there.
Yes.
But it also seems to have a tablet docked.
Maybe that printer is just a holder for my tablet.
Will it charge does it have speakers? Is it like a tablet dock?
If I flip open the lid, is it a TV instead of a scanner?
I doubt it.
Because that'd be amazing.
So this product is the HP OfficeJet Pro 8500A Plus. It's a full-size inkjet printer, so it's got your color, probably do photos, things like that. It's also an all-in-one, so it's got a scanner and stuff like that. It's controlled through the tablet.
Now, does the tablet come off?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
I believe it does.
Do you have to buy the tablet separately?
No, it's a package.
So,
It might not come off. I'm not really seeing much about that.
because it would seem like it'd be weird to sell you a printer that also has a tablet. Because it's like, I really just want the tablet. Now you got to buy the printer too.
It's a little weird.
I really just want the printer. Now you got to buy the tablet.
So it's running Android from what I can gather.
Which is kind of odd because we would have figured that HP would have implemented WebOS at this point.
WebOS isn't ready for tablets yet.
It could be.
I really don't. No, don't ruin that, please. Don't listen to him. Don't ruin it. So basically, it's got Yahoo widgets on there. It'll control your scanning, printing, photocopying.
I mean, it'd be kind of cool if you could flip through and be like, "Ooh, I want that recipe," and then boom,
It's
it's
got
printed.
some games on it.
Why would you game on your printer? Are you sitting on the bus with your printer on your lap? Da, 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 da. That seems rather cumbersome. Yeah, but it was cheaper than your iPod Touch.
It's got wireless N. Wow, $400.
If the tablet comes off, I'm sold. I'll go buy it. $200 tablet, $200 printer. Sounds good.
I don't know. It's what are they? Tablet printers, printer tablets.
Tab printer?
HP. They're two different products.
Printlet. It's a printlet.
No.
Oh, we're calling them printlets.
HP's new DeskJet printlet.
Just jet printlet.
Please either coin that term or stop making these. They make no sense.
It either has more print or more let, depending on the model you buy.
I just want my printer to spit some paper out with some ink on it. Hopefully in the right order.
Next time you print, it's just going to print the tablet for you.
I want that. It's a money-making machine.
Zing.
That's all we got from Tech Insight this week. Next up, we're going to the lab because it's time for Sean's Mad Science.
Science, science, science.
It's kind of alive!
Nah, it's still dead.
Oh. Hi everyone! Welcome to Mad Science!
Mad science. Sorry. I was going to sing a song.
Awesome. You should have kept going.
Hey.
So, we got two stories for you tonight. First one is kind of interesting. We've been talking about prosthetic
Kind of,
limbs.
just kind of.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Just a little bit. So we've been talking about prosthetic limbs, things like that in the past. DARPA's arm, for instance, which is their newest thing, attached up to the chest, and you had to flex your chest certain ways and it would make it work. Well, basically, they're kind of sitting there going, you know what? We should probably find a new method. So, DARPA started funding a project to create synthetic nerves, or, well, they're using fiber optic cables to do this.
Okay, so they just started? They're like, hey, we're going to do a thing.
It's more like, everyone knows about how fiber optics work. You take an electric signal, you turn it into a light signal.
Yeah, I
goes
totally
down.
know whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. You should please explain.
Okay. Well, anyway, you take an electric signal, like, for instance, anything that you're using for if you've got Rogers cable internet like me, it's coming through on a fiber channel, and then it's getting turned into a regular digital channel. Sorry.
Is that like that kid with the big straw and the kid with the little straw? Anyway. You know what? Forget
different analogy.
On we go.
Different thing.
Fiber optics.
Anyway, basically, fiber optics are also used for the phone lines because they transfer data, well, the speed of light, and very efficiently, very, very nice.
Cleaner too? Is it because there's no signal loss too, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
There's barely any attenuation. Like there's no an electromagnetic field will not interfere with it. Like you have to watch that with some cables. If you put it too close to your friggin' electric box,
Nuclear power plant.
that too, you'll lose your signal. It'll just turn into noise. So basically, they've decided they want to try and figure out a way of making the Skywalker arm. Named so because of Luke's arm in Star Wars when he gets it all cut off and then turns into a robot thing. Well, they want to try and make one that's better than what they have right now. Because what they have right now requires a lot of surgery to make the nerves that would have gone to your hand or your arm come up to your chest. So basically, certain movements of your chest are picked up by the arm, and then your hand moves, your arm raises, whatever you have to do. What they want to do is do a direct thing. They no longer want to have to redirect.
So they got my email. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. They want to basically take the signal directly from the brain or from a nerve that's already going to the spot,
Right.
and turn it into a light signal. Because a fiber optic can be very, very, very small. So they can make it very, very small and compact, and they can put in a lot of data. The idea is they don't want to just have control. So they don't want to just be able to have the nerve that would say, close my hand, initiate the motion to close my hand. They don't just want to have that. Because they're thinking, let's go further. Let's make it so it's a two-way street. Let's get touch involved. Let's get pressure sensing. Let's get temperature sensing. Let's get senses back into a robotic hand. Basically, to do that, using the fiber optic, you get a hell of a lot more bandwidth. So they can actually put in this sort of data.
So you can do that. So what they're looking at doing is recreating the sensory input of your previously existing hand.
Exactly.
Or limb, or
Whatever you
presumably
may
it's
have.
not just hands.
Yeah, it's whatever you have there. So the whole idea is that it just gets connected onto you, and then it just starts actually transmitting the signal from your arm, so from your nerve, from regular nerve signal into a fiber or into a light signal, which is then of course carrying the data to the limb itself or to the prosthetic.
You know what I want to see at some point? I want to see a story, probably, because I know that this is. But I mean, it would be neat to have. You can scan your nerves today, and then when you lose a limb,
Oh, I see.
you
Keep
can
it all
have all of
memorized.
that put into your data jack, which is apparently going to be put right there because I don't know.
Elbows are good.
But right, I mean,
Yeah.
because otherwise you're going to have to teach that limb again.
Pretty much, yeah.
And if you're
But this is
someone-
kind of the whole idea of this, though, is to cut down on teaching it. Because especially when they do the surgery to move the limbs up to the chest, that is a whole new thing.
That's a different kind of thing. What I mean, though, is patterns and that sort of thing.
Oh, I see what you mean now. So like the actual
I'm
sort of
used to
muscle
doing
memory.
this. If you're an artist, or your handwriting,
Yeah.
if you write with your right hand, left hand, whatever, and that limb goes missing,
Yep.
you don't have to start your signature again.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
I mean,
have
then
all
you're getting
the-
into all sorts of weird things where it's
Yeah.
like, okay, this has been hijacked data, someone else signed his name, et cetera, et cetera. But by that time, we're going to all have chips in the backs of our necks anyway, so.
Yeah, it won't matter.
Anyway, sorry. So, but,
No.
sounds cool.
Yeah.
Next story.
Yeah, absolutely. Next one, something, of course, once again, near and dear to our hearts here in the lab, which is coil guns. In this case, this new gentleman named Jason created a...
Just Jason.
Yeah, I couldn't get his last name, but I was searching for it. He created this very interesting coil gun. Looks great. Got a picture here for you. It's 1.2 kilojoules, sorry, of power. It looks
When we compare
great.
this to the CERN.
Okay, when we compare this to the CERN, nothing.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now that does look really. You know what? Part of what appeals to me is that it's got a little readout on the side, kind of like the gun from
Aliens, yeah,
Yes.
to let you know your ammo count.
And
In
I
this
like that
case-
it's got 4 places to put your beer. That's
yeah,
cool.
that's a
I like
awesome
that.
place too. So those are the capacitors there in the back.
Sorry.
All right. So those are the capacitors there in the back.
Okay.
And basically, the problem is when people talk about coil guns and their power. So in this case, the 1.2 kilojoules. That is not necessarily the muzzle velocity or the energy coming out of the muzzle when you fire this gun.
Okay.
Because that would mean that you'd have more power than a 45 caliber round coming out of that. So when you fire your 45 caliber Magnum, the power coming out of there is actually less than 1.5, or sorry, actually it's a little less than 1.5 kilojoules of energy coming out. So there's a video attached. If you go to the link in the show notes, there is a video of him shooting things, and basically the round is destroying anything he shoots, but it's very much a blunt edge shot. So it's more smashing it
Okay.
rather than piercing and making it burst in any other way.
Okay.
But
But,
an amazing design,
amazing design.
very,
Yeah.
very well done.
Well done. This guy gets kudos, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
If we gave little awards, this
Yeah.
guy would get an award for, like, sharp work, sir.
Very much so, and very, very, I'll say just, it looks functional. Like, in the video, he actually has it put up against his arm, and it looks very, very good that way. I mean, the ones that previous, it's very heavy, it's very much just a one-handed thing, but it has to become two.
The thing is, all the other stuff that I've seen, and I understand why,
Mm-hmm.
but this looks sharp. It looks like a finished product.
It definitely does. I want to see this guy do more work on this. Apparently it took him 2 years to create this thing. I want to see it get 2 or more stages, so 2 more coils in there. I think it's only single right now. I want to see it get 2 more, maybe a few more capacitors put into there, get a lot more power. This thing will be beautiful. I mean, it already is, but it can be even more amazing. So,
Cool.
that wraps it up for the science of madness.
The science of madness.
Yeah. And next up is Off the Press. Behind the Lens.
It's that time, folks. We're going behind the lens and we're talking about more new cameras because it's that time of year still.
PhotoKina is wrapping up now, and so most of the announcements have come out. There's probably not going to be too much. But Panasonic did drop the new announcements for their GH2, and Panasonic, unlike most companies, is really listening to the fact that people are demanding more professional video features out of their camera. So if you look at the GH2 here, it looks exactly like the GH1.
It does.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because there was a lot of good points to that GH1.
Physically, I liked the GH1.
It's small, it's got a good swivel screen.
Felt nice to hold. It was
It's light,
comfortable.
so if you're putting it on a rig, it's less heavy. And it works with pretty much every lens if you get an adapter. But what they did do was they listened to everyone who wanted more video features, and they put native 24p in, which didn't have before. They've bumped up the megabits.
That's 1080 24p, right?
Yes, 1080 24p. They've bumped up the bit rate from 17 megabits to 24 megabits when you record in that new format. As well, there was some issues with the first GH1 where the AVC codec wasn't doing a great job, and
Those
now
are
it's
all
doing
taken
much
care of.
better. They're using B frames and some other crazy stuff, so the footage is really clear. There's no noise and no aliasing or no rolling shutter and aliasing like the other Canons tend to have.
Interesting, yeah.
They've put live HDMI out, so when you plug in an HDMI cable for monitor, if you're running a rig, it's going to run continuously.
Really, they came out and said, look, the GH1's people have been looking at this as a video camera. Let's kind of forward that.
Yep. It's got manual audio control as well, which didn't have in the first one. And on top of that, they've put a button in their quick menu that you can see those levels on screen while you're shooting, which none of the other cameras have to date. Canon has manual audio control, but you have to go into the menu to see it, and once you start recording, you don't know what your levels are like.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Now, they've bumped up the sensor to 16 megapixels from the 12 that it was, so some people are kind of worried it's not going to do as good in low light, but they've put a third processor in the camera. I think there's 3 processors to accomplish all this. So
is that the best way to deal with that, maybe?
Well, you know, if you can have a little bit more power running those algorithms to keep that noise down, it works. So apparently the footage looks pretty good.
Okay.
It's also got a really insane 40 frames per second burst rate at 4 megapixels.
That's quick.
But it only shoots for 1 second. So it's just some sort of insanely fast motion kind of idea. Overall, pretty cool camera. What they're doing this time around, though, is they are selling it body only, which they didn't do with the GH1, so you can get it for a little bit cheaper if you've already got some Panasonic lenses.
And you're saying you can get adapters, right? So if you're
Yes.
kind of looking for an HD DSLR
And you've got some Nikon or Canon lenses, there are definitely adapters out there to start using them. So it's a pretty good option, and it's high on my new list of what camera I want to buy.
Which came a lot longer.
Yeah, it tends to happen.
Yeah.
So that's supposed to be coming out sort of end of November, December timeframe, so they want to hit the stores just before Christmas.
Cool.
Fuji came out and announced what is kind of like an SLR, but not really an SLR in the fact that it has an SLR-sized sensor, but doesn't have an interchangeable lens. However, they did announce what they call the X100, and this is it here.
Drop dead gorgeous.
It is the nicest camera I have ever seen. Basically, the styling they went with was to go with the more traditional old, like Olympus pen style camera, but it's all metal, real leather. Now, it's an SLR in that it has a larger sensor, but that lens does not come off. So it's a 35 millimeter equivalent lens, which might be really restricting for some people. It's really targeting the market of that sort of hobbyist that really wants that traditionally styled camera. You know, a bit of a hipster perhaps as well.
I think the only thing they've targeted a niche market, right?
Yeah. Now, what's cool is the viewfinder on the back here is using some really awesome technology where it's not only a real optical viewfinder, but it's also a digital LCD screen. By clicking a button or either by doing both at the same time, it basically overlays some digital information using a split prism where the LCD screen comes from the side, which is really cool. And you can see at the top there as well that they've also put hard metal buttons, which is how you control your shutter speed and your ISO, just like the old film cameras. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be retailing for about $1,000 US, so it's not cheap. It's the price of SLRs like this, so you really have to want it in order to get it.
Like it's a niche market thing. I mean, if we both looked at that and immediately started drooling.
Well, most photographers are looking at that and they go, "Wow, this looks great. This is the nicest digital SLR I've ever seen."
But at the same time, is it really an SLR?
Well,
Depends
no,
on what you're
it's
looking
not.
for, right?
So I mean, there's definitely gonna be a smaller market for it. But I'm excited to get a hands on. Hopefully, we can bring it on the show for you here because it is really cool looking.
It does look really cool.
Lastly, in news, Pentax brought out the KX.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much a K7, much like we talked about the KR. They've decided to up the megapixels by 2, give you some higher ISO, and do faster frames per second.
So, very, very incredible.
And if you own a K7, the K5 looks identical to it in every single way, with the exception of the fact that it says K5 on the front of it. So, I don't know what you're doing, Pentax. You and Olympus don't seem to understand what people want with SLRs. Do some more market research. Apparently you're just fine living off of all the dedicated Pentax fans that'll buy whatever you make.
The only thing that bothers me is that Pentax and Olympus don't rev their cameras as frequently as maybe Canon does, right?
No, I mean, it's still frequent, but it's, maybe if Canon's doing it every year, they're doing it every year and a half.
Yeah, so you think you'd see more than an incremental spec boost.
Yeah.
Maybe. Some new features.
So I don't know what Pentax is thinking. If you got a K7, don't buy the K5 to replace it. But if you wanted to buy a K7, then wait for the K5, I guess.
If you want.
I guess.
Or buy a Canon.
So that brings us on to our review this week. I don't want to cram as much into these segments, but there's so many new cameras coming out that if I don't, it'll just be delayed if I don't review stuff every week. So this is the Canon 60D, which in my opinion is one of the nicest cameras that Canon has made. But again, I'm looking at these cameras these days from a video perspective, and that's what Canon has put a focus on for this guy. It sits price point and features-wise right between the T2i and the 7D. It doesn't have as fast a frame per second as the 7D, but it's faster than the T2i. It's got a faster autofocus system than the T2i, but not as fast as the 7D. Certain things like that. But what Canon did do with this guy was really listen to, again, what people were looking for video.
Yeah.
A lot of the professionals have been doing videos on go and find this custom setting and turn it on, and then go and set this and go and set that. And basically Canon took all of those used to be sort of buried custom settings and put them front and center on the video mode so that you can just go and turn them on right away. Also, if you've got a 7D, you have no manual audio control. This guy has it. And although your 7D has 2 processors, it doesn't use both processors when it's shooting video. So this essentially has the exact same low light quality as your 7D does. So if you were thinking about buying a 7D to shoot video, this is a better option. With the one exception that the 7D maintains its high definition output when you start recording. This one drops down to 480p like the 5D does. I don't know why they chose to do that. I'm assuming it's probably because they don't have the second processor to run the
not
power.
enough power to do it. Yeah.
That's the only downside, but in response to that, they give you a really nice swivel screen, which when you're running a camera on a rig is a really great thing to have, like we were talking about with the Panasonic. So I have used this shoulder mounted, and having the screen makes it way easier to use than just trying to look sort of off center at the back.
And it's a really sharp screen, looks really nice.
Yeah, it's over a full megapixel of resolution on the back screen, so it makes focusing pretty easily.
Yeah.
It's got the full range of shutter speeds, 1080-24, 1080-30, 720-60, so you got all those speeds to choose from when you're shooting video. This guy retails body only for about $1,200, and with a lens going from about $15 up to $19, depending on what lens you buy. So if you were thinking about buying a T2i, buy this instead. And if you were thinking about buying a 7D, but for video, buy this instead. Overall, I definitely recommend it. Pretty good camera altogether.
There you go.
So that wraps up Behind the Lens this week, and we'll be right back with the lull of the week. It's that time of the week where we try to make you laugh with a funny video from the internet.
Huh.
Ha ha. Ha ha. This week, Zelda. But more importantly, this is a flash animation video that's done using only the sounds that Link makes during the game. And while he tries to communicate with a shopkeeper, check it out.
Hello, welcome to the Kokiri 4 shop. How may I help you today? What? Could you, repeat that, please? I have no idea what you're saying to me right now. That is a heavy accent you have there, buddy. You're gonna have to speak up. Enunciate, please. The restroom? You want to use the restroom? Because you gotta buy something if you want to use it.
So I think the best part about that is just the shopkeeper
The
not
shopkeeper's
understanding
little
him.
comments.
Yeah, the shopkeeper's really funny. Like, I mean, it's funny that Link's making noises and stuff, but it's really just funny what the shopkeeper's saying and not understanding him at all. I mean, if some guy was just grunting at you all the time, he probably wouldn't understand him either.
No.
But there was some pointing involved, and that still didn't really...
This is a stupid shopkeeper, I guess.
I want to see more adventures of Link not talking using words. Or talking not using words. Just more adventures of Link, really. Or something like
So
that.
if you want to talk to us without using words,
No, don't do that. Please don't talk to us not using words.
please talk to us without using
This is
words.
this is not Decipher Hour, okay? If you'd like to talk to us, you can use real English. Or maybe a foreign language, and we'll try and run it through a translator if we're feeling adventurous.
We might even read it.
We'll attempt to. But if you do decide to use any kind of normal language to talk to us, you can hit us up right here on our Twitter at @almost_Friday.
Or you can email us using real or fake words, I guess.
No, don't use fake words.
Please use fake
Don't
words.
half-ass this. If you're going to email us, do it right.
Use full
Be a
S.
man. Do
So-
the right thing.
Contact at almostfridayshow.com. Preferably real words.
And I don't want, like, fake words, like some foreign ancient language that's no longer in circulation that you happen to learn because you were really bored.
Bonjour.
Klingon.
Klingon is not a real language, regardless of what everyone else thinks.
Neither is French.
All right.
Crazy gibberish.
Well, I guess that brings us to the end of our show and probably the end of our French viewers. So until next time, bon voyage.
Bye, French viewers.